Ready, Coach? Well, speaking as somebody who's played in the game and now coaching the game, what were kind of your takeaways from the experience as a whole?
Yeah, I think, well, it's a great environment. I mean, let's begin there. I think people care about that game. I think our fans came out. I think their fans came out. I think people in the UP care about that, and it was evident. And, that part of it was fun, and it was good to see. Obviously, the takeaways from how we played, it was very difficult. Painful to kind of go through the outcome, right? And to be able to kind of go through it during the game and then now after the game. I think you got to give a ton of credit to Michigan Tech. I think they played as close to a flawless game as anybody could actually. And after going back and you look at the film, um, there were a lot of plays that were out there that were just a matter of inches, a matter of one guy here, one guy there, and they were in good position. They were physical. They were fast to the ball. And I think our team needs to be better in those areas. And we talked about it as a team. We looked at it, and there's some executional stuff that just needs to be sharper and more precise. And we're not at the place where we need to be, and we need to continue to grow and get better and continue to add to the nucleus that we have. And I just think there's a lot of room for improvement for sure. And we just got to continue to make sure that we are moving forward. Obviously with a setback like that, it could be very easy to go in the tank and to really start doubting and becoming real negative. And we as a program, as a coaching staff, and as players and everybody involved, we've got to be able to just hold our heads high and be able to move forward and move through it and just kind of endure the pain of it so that we can be better on the other side of it.
Well, how do you go about kind of progressing through that? I mean, during practice, during training, you name it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the first thing is, you can't let the negativity start to sink into your way of operating, and you got to stay together. You got to be able to stay on the same page. You got to be able to continue to be consistent and make sure that the message doesn't get too high or too low or too out of whack. And I think they have to see that from me first as a head coach, and then obviously our coaches have to demonstrate that as well. I think you got to be able to pick out some of the positives, and I think there still are a lot of positives about our program and about our team right now that players can point to. And yesterday we had a leadership meeting, and we've got about 15 guys in there, and I asked them, I said, hey, affirm our team right now. What do you see that's going on that's good and positive? And, every single one of them had something to say. And so, that right there is a really good thing. I think, as coaches, we've got to just look at where we are in the season. We have 4 games left, and we've got to be able to continue to put together a good plan so that the morale stays high. And of course, we're hungry for a win. I mean, obviously, we're winless right now, and so we're going to continue to work in a way that gives us a great chance every Saturday for the players to feel their best and to go into Saturday confident, and hopefully they'll obviously be able to play better and better each week here as we move forward.
What are those bullet points of the positive gameplay that you kind of are seeing?
Well, I think the players are excited about just the structure that we have. I think they understand that there is organization and a plan that we have every single day, and so we're very intentional about that. I think they understand that the togetherness of our team and our culture has been demonstrated. They talked about how there's not a lot of people complaining, there's not a lot of people finger pointing. There's a lot of still positivity from players as they interact with each other. I think another thing is they show up and they come to work every day. We had a team meeting last night. We had meetings all throughout the afternoon yesterday to kind of put the game to bed from Saturday and to make sure the players understood everything. And they still come and they still are willing to learn, still willing to work, and to continue to stay on track with what we're doing. And so, just a lot of those things where players understand that there's a commitment here, and we're trying to continue to keep that commitment for the sake of the program moving forward and just how we do things in our culture and in our mentality.
And Coach Aiden Ward makes his first start, and you know, some good things seen from him, but can you talk about kind of that experience for him? And you know, you make the first start in a big game like the Miners Cup, and can kind of controlling those nerves when he's out there.
Yeah, for sure. So Aiden's got a lot of potential, a lot of ability, and it's one of those things where it's as much as you talk him through it, as much as you try to coach him through it, there's gonna be that sense of pressure and just inherently, right? I mean, it's just an organic thing, and you know what Coach Lindquist and I really tried to do was to just make sure that he knew that he had our support and our belief in him, and I just made sure he knew that, hey, you wouldn't be in this position if we didn't believe in you, and you know, go out there and don't worry about making mistakes, and just play your best one play at a time. And you know, and Coach Lindquist met with him a lot last week and tried to really put in a lot of extra time with him to make sure that he felt confident and comfortable. And you know, as much as we can, we're going to help the cause and make sure that he feels as comfortable with everything that we're doing in the game plan, and making sure that he's reassured by us that we're confident in him. And so now he just has to go out and get the reps and get the experience, and there's no better way to do it than just to go through it, fail through it, and you have to fail better to be better, you know. And I think he knows now what to expect in a game that he's played, you know, in terms of every snap, you know, from first quarter all the way through the fourth quarter, and he'll be better as he moves forward, and I have no doubt about it. I mean, that kid's EACD, which is effort, attitude, coachable, dependable factors, those are high for him, and that gives him a chance to just really improve every day and very consistently, and he'll be very good for us in the future.
Just your thoughts on the matchup ahead. Grand Valley, another tough team.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? What's the thoughts of that?
Very athletic team, very capable. I mean, if you want to look at scores and kind of compare and all the stuff, right? I mean, they obviously just played Ferris and had a really good game against them. And you know, what I would say though is, you know, we've got a chance to be able to take all these top good opponents and be able to, how can we move into those games even better than what we have already, right? And so they're going to be very athletic. They're going to be very physical. I think they've got really good coaches that understand schematicals, and you know, I mean, obviously we're going to have to put a great plan so that we can be sound. And I think it just goes back to that, is knowing our team with where we're at right now. How can we keep our guys confident? How can we keep our guys playing fast and being comfortable and doing something that they can improve on? And if we can go out there and just be able to match up to what they're giving us, and take what they give us, and be able to try to eliminate some things, and you know, see that our team is competing at an extremely high level and playing hard for 4 quarters, you know, we want to see progress. And so we're looking forward to that this week. You know, we want to be able to take whatever the result is at the end and be able to feel good about it and feel positive that our team is moving in the right direction.
In that, what do you hope to maybe change in, let's say, defensive gameplay for you?
Yeah, well, I think defensively, we saw from the film this past week versus Michigan Tech is we had a guy that was a little bit out of position just every now and then. And, you know, some of those big plays, you know, a 3-yard gain turns into a 7 to 9 yard gain if a guy is kind of out of whack, right? Maybe a 5 or an under 10-yard pass turns into a pass over your head if you're not really covering a certain zone, and now it turns into 25 to 40-yard gain. So we've got to be able to put guys in consistent, good positions all the time so that we can execute and be really a lot more sound, so that we're not giving up some of those gaping holes. And so we want to improve in that area defensively for sure.